This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we're recording now, so thanks everybody. I appreciate you taking the time investment today to meet with me and to get your business started. Again, please feel free to unmute yourself. I'm just looking at the chat here. Unmute yourself, ask any questions as we go through these slides, because what I'm going to do here is, in the next slide, it's going to identify exactly what our agenda is. So really looking at how to get your business started and started very powerfully. We're going to identify your different potential customers, the tools that are available for you right now to get started immediately, kind of what the next steps are, and how you can process forward with your business. Now, I'm not keeping an eye on the chat, so if you do have a question, please unmute yourself. And the very first thing we want to talk about here is really talking about what you see your future to be. What is it that you want? Why are you starting this business? One of the things that we've determined very recently and talking about and really seeing that success is that it's not a one-size-fits-all business. And that's a great thing, because with that comes different choices and options that you have available. And it really is about how you want to do your business to what it is that you want to achieve. So I've asked everyone to grab a pen and paper. So jot down now, how do you imagine your future? And sky's the limit here. Dream a little bit. If you see yourself in a 3-month tour of Italy, write it down. If you see yourself buying those really cute red pairs of shoes at the mall, write it down. Big or small, it's yours. Okay? And from here, what we're doing is looking at your dreams or your destination. Best analogy that I can come up with here is like a GPS, okay? And with a GPS, you need to put in your destination. Once that destination is put in, then the map appears on how to achieve, how to get to that destination. And this is what we're doing here. So when we meet one-on-one, and that's one of the benefits of being on right now, is meeting one-on-one to really dig deep as to what is it that you want to achieve and what is that time frame you want to achieve it in. Okay? Again, not a one-size-fits-all. Your schedule, your way. What is best for you? I'm a business development manager here at Avon. I've been with the company for 9 years. I work for head office, but 9 years ago, I started as a representative and as a leader and grew my business to the point where I am now able to teach others. Okay? And I do that because I can sit here and I can tell you everything that I did to be successful. And same with all of you on here. Janet could tell you what she's doing right now to be successful. But the reality is this: if it's not right for you, it won't work for you. And that's why it's incredibly important for us to know what is your destination. So let's get started. So now, with that pen and paper, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a couple minutes here because it's this important. This is the most vital piece to your business. Take a moment and write down all contacts that you have across Canada. Okay? No judgments, just write names down. Because when you do this, we're going to go back and we're going to talk about tools that you have. We're also going to talk about the thought process behind it. But more importantly, let's look at who these people are and the different conversations. So I'm going to give you a minute here because it's that important to make a list. And I mean anyone. If you know your aunt's cousin's sister, put her down. If you have a Tim Hortons that you go to every morning and you see the same cashier but don't know her name, write it down. One of the things that we have is this module right here, okay? And I'm going to pull that up for you guys to see. I'm going to pull it over here into the presentation. You will find this under your Info Center My Training, and it's a list that kind of helps you figure out, some people that you haven't thought of. So who do you call first when you have great news to share? Checking about Facebook and Instagram, who do you see on that news feed? Where do you go? Who do you know? Places you go, those kind of things, okay? Because there's a whole purpose behind this that we're going to get into. So I'm going to give you guys a second here. Now I am going to look at the chat. But start making that list. I'm going to type in the chat here because I know some of you can only hear me. Please let me know when you have your list. I'm also going to encourage you to get a notebook and a pen, because now that we're opening these floodgates, you're going to be in the shower, you're going to be driving, you're going to be walking your dog, and names are going to start to jump into your mind. So always have that pen and paper ready, because there's a process to this. Good. I'm glad. Sandra, that's important. And you're going to see why once we start talking about it. I've done this before where people do it in groups. So they go, okay, here are all my Facebook people. Here are all my school events people. Here are all my yoga class people. Awesome. Yes, Janet. Janet is saying her names are on her phone as leads. So using your Avon Spark app, that's incredibly important. That's one of the tools that you can use. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to talk you through this. And when you have this list in front of you, okay, here's the process. Have a look at the list. And anybody at all on that list that purchases everyday products like we sell, so things like shampoos, conditioners, deodorants, put a 1 beside them, please. I'll give you a second to do that. I'm bringing my chat over here so now I can read it from you guys. Avon Spark. We're going to talk about that. That's one of the juicy things because it's very exciting, and it will change the way you do your business. It's a free app. Okay, so everyone with a 1, shampoos, conditioners, deodorants, they get a 1. Have a look at the list again, and anybody who is concerned about skincare, so things like who uses SPF, who is concerned about aging, pollution for your skin, wants all natural products, let's put a 2 beside them, please. And P.S., they can have more than 1 number beside them. Let's take a moment and write a 2 beside them. Okay, now the last thing here, we're going to look at the list one more time. And anybody on that list who is health conscious, okay, so someone who goes to the gym, or somebody who has shakes in the morning, or you know, having trouble with some anxiety, or can't get to sleep, those type of things, put a 3 beside them. Perfect. Okay, here's how this works now. Everybody who you've identified as 1s, 2s, and 3s, it's very much the same thing for them, okay? It's not a one-size-fits-all for them either. Your people that you know have different needs and need different solutions. So here's a saying that is really, really important, and it'll make you think a little bit here. And it's this: nobody likes to be sold to, right? Nobody wants to hear a sales pitch. Nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody does like to buy. Let that sink in for a sec. Okay, so with that being said, everybody who you've identified as 1s, you will want to introduce the campaign and then remind the campaign. And I'm going to put a pin in that one, and we're going to come back to that one in a second. Anyone who is a 2, these are the people who are interested in skincare. And Sandra, to your question, on your Avon Spark app, it's right from your phone. The Avon Spark app is one of the coolest things that you will have being a representative here. And what it is it's attached to your Avon account. So once you download it, and it's free, to get in, it's the same email and password you use to get into avon.ca that you will use to get into your Spark. Now, on the Spark here, there is a section that says more. And when you scroll down to about halfway, there is something called a skincare finder. Okay, and this skincare finder is a great tool. Skincare Finder is a quiz that you can share to everybody who has identified as a 2. And what the Skincare Finder does is it allows them to go through a quiz of, answering questions about their own skin. And at the end of this quiz, it will recommend for them the regimen that's right for their skin. So why is this a great tool? What's in it for you? Is it provides a conversation starter. Okay, you can text it out to them, Facebook Messenger them, whatever the case may be. Okay, it's a conversation starter. It provides the knowledge and the knowledge and the information that they need for them, so they'll appreciate that, and it ups your customer service. And then 3, it provides a follow-up conversation as well. Hey, did you see anything you were surprised about? Is this the type of cream that you've used in the past? Great way to continue the conversation. Okay, this is how you can help provide them with what their needs are and not be selling to them. Okay, now anyone who has identified as a 3 is the same concept for the wellness. And where you will find that, I'm actually going to come over here right now. Let me share over here for you. On your avon.ca, it's the same information. And this is something that you will want to see anyway, that you have available on your site. You would go to Info Center here, My Training. Okay. And time me out, hang on. And when you go in here, down here, when you scroll down, is all the great information about our products. So same concept. Under here is the Aspira guide, and this too, when you scroll, also provides questions that you can help them determine your customers and your contacts of what they need for their body. Okay, again, conversation starter, knowledge and information, and provides a follow-up. Make sense? Check in the chat here. Is everybody good so far? Okay, perfect. So now I want to go back to these ones because this is incredibly important. And I'm going to give you some scenarios and walk you through the thought process. But here's how it goes. Typically, as a new representative, okay, let's say that Janet is somebody who is on my contact list. So for campaign 23, I send her an introduction of the campaign. Right before the campaign ends, I send her a reminder, don't hear from Janet. Campaign 24, I send her an intro, I send her a reminder, don't hear from Janet. Campaign 25, I send her an intro, I send her a reminder, I don't hear from Janet. As a new representative, how do you think that I start to feel, or what do you think my perspective is when I haven't heard from Janet after 3 times of introducing and reminding? How do you guys think I feel? Okay, so I'm seeing here in the chat, my perspective as the new representative, exactly, Sandra, is you start to feel pushy. You start to, exactly, frustrated, rejected. Why hasn't Janet messaged me back? Does she not want Avon? Maybe she doesn't like Avon. Maybe now she's angry at me because I keep sending this to her, right? This is what's going on in my mind because I'm the entrepreneur, and these are the conversations that we have in our heads, especially as women, we do this as well. Here's the thing though. Janet's perspective now is she wants to order something and she hasn't seen something from me. So she goes, oh, I really wanted to order Avon, but I haven't seen anything from Jody for a while, so I guess Jody quit. Right? So the point of this is this. That's our own self-talk. With the people you've identified as ones, you want to introduce the campaign and remind them of the campaign, every single campaign, whether they've ordered from you or not. Okay? Here's an example. I used to sell real estate. I would walk into a room and the room would be bright pink. And my first thought was, wow, this color is horrific and she's going to need to paint this immediately. My client would come in behind me and go, this is my favorite color ever. I'm never touching this room. Point is, it's not your role to tell her to paint the room or tell her not to paint the room. You just want to show her the pink room. Then she gets to decide if she's going to paint it or not. If she paints it, great. If she doesn't, that's cool too. Okay? So you want to introduce every campaign, whether they've ordered from you or not. The only time you don't do it is if they have responded to you and said, hey, Jody, you know what? I'm cool. I've got your e-store. Don't need to see it every campaign. That's it. Self-promotion. This is how you promote. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more because it doesn't have to be grandiose, okay? It could be a quick text. Hey, Janet, it's Jody from Avon. Just wanted to touch base. Here's campaign 23. Just wanted to let you know it's the important one about the breast cancer. 10% will be donated back. You can see the wording in your avon.ca. And here's my e-store. Here's my e-brochure. That's it. That's all. Okay. So it's however you talk and say hello to ensure that your e-store and e-brochure in there and throw in something exciting about that particular campaign. Then when you send that reminder, it's hey, Janet, it's Jody from Avon. Just wanted to give you a friendly reminder. If you wanted to order from campaign 23, your last day is Wednesday. Here's my e-store. Here's my e-brochure. That's it. That's all. How do you guys feel about that? I got the chat going. Okay. And we sometimes forget what the other person's perspective is because we get caught up in our own, right? So, and that's why too, when you look at that list and the development of those contacts, allow yourself time to grow that contacts. When I say contacts, it doesn't have to be people who have bought from you. You just want people you can talk to. Okay, and then the reminder is just again a reiteration of how you introduced it, and that's why your e-store is important to open it now. Get that store open and get that promotion out there to all of those people because you will earn more with your e-store. You do not need credit with the e-store because anyone who goes to your store, they go on, they purchase, they pay for it, it's delivered to them, and you get the commission deposited into your bank account. Less time investment for higher earnings. Make sense? Cool. So next piece I want to talk about, and then we're almost done. Next piece here is questions and objections. So now that you are proud business owners of an Avon business, okay, you are now a brand ambassador. And part of that brand is yourself as well. Now, I'm going to throw out some thought processes here. Sometimes objections, okay, are really questions. And I'm going to give you some examples. So when somebody says anything to you about the business, the products, the company, ask yourself, what is she really asking me here? Or he? What are they really asking me here? What is the question? Because a lot of times the human nature is, and it's human for us, is we want to defend. And here's an example. Say someone says to you, you know what, I don't want to buy Avon because I heard that Avon tests on animals. Your first human initial reaction is to want to defend that because we don't. And how dare they think that? And how can I change their mind? These are normal things that you'll want to do, especially when you're so proud of your business and the company. The reality is you're not going to change her mind. And what's going to happen is you're going to go back and forth and everyone's just going to get angry. So what is she really asking? And here's the formula for this is you empathize, you ask for permission, and then you ask the question. So for example, you can say, okay, I understand. I too would not want to buy Avon if I believed that they tested on animals. You're saying to her, I get you, I hear you. It feels squishy if that's what your belief is. Would it be okay if I asked you a question? Would you like to go to the company for Avon, or sorry, the company for women.ca and read the articles about animal welfare? You can find the knowledge for yourself there. See the difference? That's one way. Here's another one. Some people will say, you know what, no thank you, I don't want to buy your Avon, I don't wear makeup. Our human reaction is to go, yep, that's okay though, there's other stuff in the book that you can look at. Her perspective though is she's going to think, wow, Jody wants me to still go into the book, look at the other stuff, even though I don't buy makeup, because Jody wants me to buy something so she makes money. When we switch it around and we talk about, yeah, okay, I understand. I know a lot of people who don't wear makeup either. So you're saying, I hear you, I get it. Would it be okay if I asked you a question? When was the last time you saw an Avon brochure? So do you see the difference when we take a moment and go, what is she really asking? Because if she's taking the time to tell you she doesn't wear Avon, she's asking, you know, are there any other things? Is there something else that I could look at? But without being so direct and, you know, hey, check other things out, making it about us, we make it about them. Does that make sense? So we also have, again, the module. Cool, I'm just checking the chat. Cool. We have a module as well, and I'm going to come back over to this side. That will show you real objections and how you can relate that and ask it as a question. Because again, remember that self-talk we were thinking about and talking about a little bit earlier? This is the same thing. What is the conversation really in her head? What is she really trying to ask us here? And I'm going to pull this up for you so you can see that. So see, same idea. It's the listen and ask questions, respect and agree. I get it. I hear you, right? Relate to it, answer it, and then go back with the, hey, can I ask you a question? When was the last time you saw a brochure? And I like these because these are real everyday things that we hear all the time. And again, your mentor is there. Me as your business development manager, these are all things. If you guys have any questions, the support is all out there for you. There are many different avenues. You guys aren't alone. You're starting a business, and sometimes along the way, and even if you've had a business for 20 years, it's still nice to have someone to bounce ideas off and to brainstorm with. So please feel free to reach out all the time. So there we go. So the last piece tonight then, because we have already talked about the different conversations. And Janet, I believe it was you who said that in the beginning when we were talking about this. That's okay, Noella. I'm recording it, so it's okay. I'll be able to send this to you so you won't miss a thing. Don't worry. This part here, though, the texting is getting the best results. We're finding that emails are not getting the engagement you want at the beginning. Facebook Messenger is also another good way. And WhatsApp is also a good one out there, but these are different things that you can use to get that engagement and get the ball rolling. But I wanted to go back to this because Janet had said to me before, and I believe, Janet, it was you who had said, you know, can we have like a script on what we should do to send people? And going back to when she'd said that to me, I said, okay, well, you know, how typically would you talk to your friends? What were the different things that you would say to your friends? And she gave me this whole spiel, and it was perfect. Okay? Don't get caught up in the fancy, grandiose. Talk to your friends like you talk to people. If it's, you know, I thought it was Janet, and I loved it because I've used you as an example a lot because I loved your saying. But for example, me, I always say to people, hi there. But if you've never started a conversation with hi there, and all of a sudden that's what you're using, your friends are going to be like, it's a script. So be natural. It's okay. Start a conversation. That's what it's about. Remember, people don't like to be sold to, so just talk to them. If you say hello, friends, say hello, friends. If you say, hey, lady, this is a great day, say that. Okay? And then going forward, consistency plus follow-up equals momentum. That's really the formula. Consistency plus follow-up equals momentum. Okay? She believed she could, so she did. So there you go. I'm sorry, I have a tickle in my throat all of a sudden. So I'm going to open the floor Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to take a drink. Does anyone want to come on their mics and ask a question?
Does it relate to what we're talking about, or something which is tied to what we're doing?
Tied to what we're doing, please. And then any questions we can talk about offline, Janet.
Okay. I'm good.
Awesome. All right, everyone. I'm not choking to death anymore, so that's good. I swear, it's Murphy's Law, right? Like, as soon as you're doing presentations, then you get that tickle in your throat. It's like going to a Broadway show and you're the one coughing. Okay, so if nobody has any other questions, please feel free. If something comes up, message me. You can find me on Facebook at Jody Binning Avon. You can also reach out to your mentors. That's what we're all here for. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.